Good morning, good afternoon, good evening or good night whenever this video is being watched. Welcome back to Roblox Aeronautica. The third try on this video. I'll explain that in a second. The good news is Aeronautica has had an update and they have added some new vehicles, and I already got some of them. And the Mi-8 is one of those new vehicles. And this livery is kind of special for me, because this exact livery, Luftwaffe 93 plus 51, basically the German registration number, because this is the German Armed Forces sign. Anyways, I've seen this particular one in Berlin during my trip there. The very first full day we went to the Luftwaffe Museum at former Berlin Kato, where this helicopter was on display with this livery. I even went to advanced customizations to get the details right, from the squared windows to the tail design with the rotor on this side. I basically made an exact copy. Using this livery as well. I was looking forward pretty much for this update, and now it's time to test some aircraft. And yes, doing some small distances because I did long distances and they didn't go as planned. The biggest issue was a corrupted sound. Here's a clip from that during the editing where I noticed it. After that, I tried it the second time, and I forgot to put the recording back on, so I did have gameplay but not webcam footage. And let me explain that one a little bit, and I explained this before, but I'm going to the process more in detail now. The way I make my videos is I use OBS for the webcam. I have my NVIDIA graphics card that I use for the gameplay. So where I end up with are two separate clips, two separate recordings. Then I go to, first I go to Vegas Pro to make sure that I have the sound and basically the video is ready to edit. After that's done, I'll go to Movavi, my main editing program that I use for quite some years now, after Windows Movie Maker wasn't supported anymore. So then I use Movavi Video Speed for the editing, and that's where I make this view bigger, bigger, smaller, whenever it needs to, put the watermark in, and basically I make the two clips on literally on the second above each other. so that they are still synchronous to each other. After that's done, I'll go back to Vegas Pro to see if there is some extra things that have to be edited, blurred or anything, and if everything has passed the first editing, then I can just throw it to Vegas Pro and pull it through 4K. And sometimes I have to, in rare case scenarios, and those are very common when I make pre-recorded videos that I have to speak, that I have to narrate afterwards. Then I have to do that multiple times back and forth from Movavi to Vegas, back to Movavi to put the trademark, to put the watermark in, and then it's ready to 4K render. But that's basically the way of my editing, and not anytime soon, but there will be a video where I go through the process of how I do my videos, so you guys have a much clearer view on that. But yeah, after 3 tries now with this recording, I want to keep it as short as possible, because after 2 failed attempts on a big scale, the motivation is quite lost. Having to tell everything you told over and over again, yeah, it's getting annoying at some point. So that's why I sound not as hyped as usually, as I would be normally. But yeah, those are things that can happen. It sucks, but the best you can do is either push through, and if that doesn't work after the 3rd attempt, step away from it, try tomorrow. Back to the game. In all honesty, I was waiting for this update. It was already quite delayed. I was not the only one apparently talking about it. Some other players I met, and even random ones, started like, man, it's a while before when the last update was out. And yeah, I agree on that too. Usually on these updates it's taking 1.5 months, but we were almost 3 months away now. It's around 2 months, 2.5 months till the last big one, where the Tupolev Tu-156 was added. And in the Aeronautica Discord we could already see what vehicles were coming up, because that is a neat trick they have now. You don't have to pay attention to the Trello anymore, because the liveries are getting earlier. You can basically see it on the public livery section of the Discord. So I knew this one was coming up. Also I knew AWACS was coming up. One of my favorite grinds. So now is the question, because this was basically, especially this one, was the main weight. This was the one I was looking out for the most, because this is also a direct reference to a IRL situation I experienced not too long ago, basically a year ago. Now the big question is, was it worth the wait? Yeah, it is quite, but I expected a bit more. This Mi-8, this hip, is a middle class helicopter. And why do I say middle class? It's not a heavy lift. It is not a light. It's not a light helicopter. It's basically a middle class. It is a middle class basically. It's not light. It's not heavy. It's somewhere in the middle. Taking off and getting up to speed takes a bit longer than usual. But why does it take longer than usual? I mean, it's a middle class helicopter. Of course they are not that agile. Well, if we look at that scenario, and then I pick the Mi-26, which is even bigger, or we pick another craftable, which is the V12. Those are even bigger than this one. Heavier, here, heavy lift helicopter. Mi-26, heavy transport. And somehow they are more agile and easier to get on speed than this one. So we have direct source material to, yeah, safely say that this one is indeed slower than its counterparts. Even a Chinook. Let's grab the Chinook real quick. Heavy transport. Even that one goes quickly up to speed. So if that is if those are three heavy ones, and this one isn't a light or a heavy class, why does it take so long for it to get some movement going on? That's my only complaint I have. It also has a little upside, because the speed is so slow. It is pretty good for UB grinding. Yeah, UB grinding. Also, interestingly, overrun it. Yeah, it is so slow on the movements. Literally. But anyways, I've now picked also smaller jobs, but these helicopters have good payments if you take the time for it. Literally last recording that went down the drain, the second recording, literally I was busy with the second version of the Mi-8 helicopter, which was 50 minutes, but it was literally 19k worth of rewards. But yeah, I quit that job because it was getting, one, dark, like it does now. Why would you break, dude? Honestly. But alright, we made it at least. So now the sad part is we have now dark going on, and there is a second version, but yeah, would be sad to bring it out now. There's this one. This one is so much equipped. I have equipped this so much with advanced customizations. It can be straight from Borderlands basically. This is over the top. But I'm gonna have to pause it here because, like I said, it's getting dark. But to end up my story, if it was worth the wait, payments are good. The slow speed can help with the UP grinding, but in all honesty, the slow turning, the slow responses are not suitable for a middle class. If I literally can pick a nil Mi-26 or the V12 or the freaking Chinook, which is the heavy class basically, I'm surprised that a Mi-8 is struggling so much to respond. Here we have an Mi-38, medium transport. Here we have the Mi-6, military cargo transport. Slightly bigger than this one even. So these are more agile and more responsive than this one right here, or this one without heavy components, because I can tell you this one is even worse to fly. I can tell you guys that much. This one is, it doesn't affect the speed or something, but somehow it still ask more for the handling. I'm going to server up to see if I can find a server that has daylight, and otherwise I'll pause it there and wait till it is light again. I'll see you guys back in a couple seconds. And we're back. We found a server that is pretty much till the, close to the evening, but still daylight. And now we have plenty of time to at least give this one a spin. List selected. Time to pick a job. I want something close, not too far away. No, that is. Yeah, I'll go for this one. Now this is interesting, because like I said before I cut off the recording, these components still have influence on the helicopter's behavior. And before I take off, watch this speed that is slowly picking up. Now it is picking up. Now these heavy components made landing earlier on pretty challenging. It doesn't seem like much. The game tells it doesn't seem like much, but still, this one, especially with landing, is now with all these components even slower responding than the other one, than the Luftwaffe one we just used. But yeah, just looking at it, I still like the design. And this one is actually over the top. Literally everything that I could add to it to make it look more menacing, I put it onto it. Just look at this. We also have a light, 2 lights. One sad thing, the cargo door doesn't open. This is a solid cargo door. And also with the other components, like I have on the other Mi-8, to make it more IRL replica-like. Even those, even that one that doesn't have any features. This one has flares, for example, right here. These are flares, and even they are not working. And also, thankfully, we don't have to use an oil rig this time, because it can land on an airport. So we have much more room for mistakes now. I can master oil rigs or petrol rigs, or however they are called. We have 2 types in the game, I think. We have petrol rigs and 1 oil rigs, if I'm correct. Despite I can master them if necessary, I still don't like them, because there's little room for mistakes. For example, there is in this area, the snowy area, there is this one. Iskander Research Outpost. That is also a tiny platform, pretty much I don't know the height exactly, but somewhere between 2,000 and 5,000 feet. It is challenging. I know there was a meme about players trying to land supersonic transports on, let's see, here, Kavala Resort. Well, you can try it, because even if you can't make it, you still have room to recover. Just put on the AB again, and you're pretty much and you're good. But with helicopters on oil rigs or on these counter research outposts, yeah, that is there's no room for any mistakes. The only way you can save yourself is when you missed, when you overrun, when you overshoot a platform, or you try to land and you trot next to it. You can punch the gas as hard as you can to collect it to 100, like this. That's the only way you can save yourself. And try to steer out of the way. Because if you get stuck on the rig and you get eventually yourself loose, you basically get catapulted, which makes recovering even harder. So yeah. I can master them, but they will never be my favorite thing to do. Am I doing them still? Yes, of course. Because the payments are good, especially the long distance ones. And funny enough, that was the part I was stuck on, getting the license, when I was riding myself, before Trophy had to help me out. This video is right here, there, yeah. He flew right next to me, gave me the instructions through the chat, and thanks to that I was able to get the license finally. I did it myself once, also with a recording one day. It's not on the channel anymore because it was before the big restart, but there was a video on the channel where I did that first session myself, and after an hour I rage quit it. Eventually I was able to go to multi-engines, from that jet engines. And I thought I first had to have helicopter license, so there was also a big pressure on me. I was just stuck on the first part. When you do helicopter license, you need to go from New England town, I guess. Yeah, New England town. You need to go to one of the rigs. From there, you have to go to. Let's see, we have the room still. Let's see, here we have Oakley. Yeah, we go from New England, then we go to one oil rig, one of these ones right here. Well, no, the big one's right here, I think. Then we need to go to Webley Island, I think. And from Webley Island we have to go to Oakley. That's the way it basically works. That's interesting. Yep, they go. Those are the same aircrafts. Basically, no, it's not. Yeah, the same aircraft, same server. These guys don't fly together. Nice to see. But now it's time to bring my helicopter to the ground. And somehow I missed the point, but apparently my job is finished already. Now I just have to land it safely. And that's why I went to Norman, because Norman has basically the longest runways to this day. And there are plenty of room for mistakes.
400.
Plenty of rooms.
300.
And I want to pull it off without night vision. I don't see a heli platform, so I'll just go. I'll just pick a random spot close to the airport. It doesn't matter how I touch down right now, as long as it's general.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Like that, basically. Alright. Webcam still functioning. This is still functioning. Now the big test is the sound still there. That's something for me to discover. My job for now is done. I hope it is done now for good, and we can move later on to the warning star. And that is a even longer long play, longer than the average AWACS. But yeah, that's for tomorrow. Today I'm done with recording. Thank you guys so much for watching for this video. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications to not miss out anything, you know the drill. Check out the socials via the links in the description down below. On my left you can see 2 videos, and of course on my right the 2 subscribe buttons for the main channels. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. Bye bye.